What is going on, everyone? Spire here. We had an awesome August in-person Pokemon TCG Highlander Monthly, and we're about to go through the recap of the tournament. We got 5 great matches for you today, tons of fun matchups overall. We had some old players show up, and we had a new player show up, new to in-person. Good old the Reunited Kingdom, aka TRK, flew all the way from the Netherlands, and as of this video is currently enjoying Chicago after his trip in Kansas City for this tournament. So without further ado, let's get started into round 1. We got Psykid versus Trevor. Trevor is a longtime player, Psykid is a newer player as of last year. Psykid already starting with Kufon and Celesteela and Solasis and Aron on the bench. If you don't know, this is Psykid's go-to deck for the past year. It's been streamlined and pushed to its very highest in terms of strength and synergy. He's going to want to damage swap a bunch off of Copperajah and just keep swinging for a ton of damage to KO most Pokemon in the format. We see Toxicroak on Trevor's side. Sadly, Trevor plays Colress only for 4. Now remember, Colress is a good card, but what keeps it from not being broken is that early and sometimes mid-game, you're not getting a lot of cards on average, especially when you see these low bench counts like this. He has a Viper, he's got the Psychic Energy, the Poison Bar, but Trevor keeps looking through his hand, not doing much, does the switch, looks like he does the Tail Blade. Sadly, Copperajah has a Pokebody that allows it to not take any special conditions. So now it looks like Eli has the 3 energy ready to start swinging for knockouts, and that's already game, so Trevor does get benched. Round 2, we got Sax versus TRK. This has been a long matchup coming. These two are big time rivals, and basically everyone at the event was pretty hyped to see this happen. Sax is running Greninja Samurott, sees the LaMastres start inspired by Stephen Elmore. Looks like he's already got 2 water on Oshawott as, you know, TRK goes for the Sunflora setup. Now Sunflora has a 0 energy attack that lets all your grass and fairy Pokemon attack for no energy until you take a prize card. And we already see the Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu's last attack says if you discard any energy attached to Tapu Bulu, you get a knockout. We saw that right there. So the classic Sunflora Tapu Bulu combo comes into play. Sax promotes Lapras with Floatstone to pivot around, stalks up the Frogadier, who's going to turn into Greninja very soon unless TRK can do something. TRK gets the Fairy Charm ability on Forgus, allowing it to wall all EXs with abilities, which is a lot of them, and Greninja is already an EX, it's not even a break yet. As I say that, bam, there's Greninja break. We see the Irida, and now Sax is going to have to be careful to work around that Florges with the Fairy Charm ability on. We see Starmie again in the active. Starmie is able to support Greninja a lot with his Poke Power. Looks like Starmie actually goes down, so both these players are kind of swinging at the fences, and both are going to have to be careful because, as we saw, Vaporeon is at the corner bottom right there, giving Sax's water Pokemon 30 more HP if they get a knockout. So we already see a counter on Greninja Break, bringing its HP to 200. Now, of course, there's 80 damage on him, but it's still a lot. And you see the like acuity, that's almost insult to injury here with the defense and HP buffs. TRK is looking for his bench, gets Bulbasaur. He's wanting that to go into Venusaur as fast as possible. Sax is known. Sax, last time he fought against Venusaur, was not the happiest camper. He just did not know how to deal with Venusaur's tankiness. But hopefully Sax came back as a better sport, and I can tell you he's already a better player, so maybe with the right mindset he can defeat Venusaur. We see Ivysaur, his power granting a quick asleep, but it looks like Sax is quickly waking up. Florges doing some spread damage around the board. Okay, so, but the thing is that Vaporeon is anti-spread, so it looks like that TRK is going after mainly just Vaporeon there. And we do see the Mega Venusaur, but he only has 1 energy, and the Sunflora effect is gone, so it looks like TRK just has to pass with an active Mega Venusaur. Now, how does Sax get around Mega Venusaur, a Florges with the Charm ability? Well, he Goosebumps up Celebi for another good prize. Sometimes that's how you win the game. is you just keep finding other ways to take prizes, and at that time it looked like time was called, so Sax does win by a prize advantage. Now we have two alternate win con decks here. We got Cuda versus Ryan. Cuda's playing a mill deck and Ryan's playing a bench deck. So aside from the new unknown level X, the only other alternate ways to win the game is to deck out the opponent to 0 if they can't start their turn with drawing a card, or bench the opponent so where if they lose their active and there's no bench that they have, then they lose the game. So Ryan already starts with Klefki Komala, pretty formidable. Komala has more HP. He's kind of tanking with his pretty high HP now, but also his disruptive Poke Body that would add a bunch of damage if he's asleep between turns. Rhyhorn is asleep, doesn't get to mill, and gets knocked out. Komala just flat out does damage. So that's already good for Ryan. We see Ryan take the prize. Now see, Ryan wants to use Klefki and give his opponent a prize because he can start using Lieutenant Surge's strategy. You see the giant stump. Kuda's limited to only 3 on the bench. And Komala, again, is just taking another prize card. This is almost looking like a standard type deck where you just take prizes to win. Cuda better bench something now because Ryan has that Drifblim on the bench and he's ready to do Takeaway Seeker, and we see Seeker, and he just uses Komala to knock out Ninjask. Round 3, we got TRK versus K-Willy. Now K-Willy showed up with a surprise deck. It's a very cool metal deck that uses basically spread with Fortress and Dodrio, and then Aegislash will double all damage counters. And yeah, it's a colorless metal deck. He also uses X-Splout and Blissey. We see the Kartana start. If TRK doesn't take a prize, Kartana's going to do a ton of damage for 1 energy. Insult to Injury is this special metal on Kartana. We already see the Dodrio. Looks like K-Willy's just going to do straight out damage to Tapu Fini. Now Tapu Fini has the Fairy Charm ability, so K-Willy has to play around that. Now thankfully Doublade does not have an ability, and K-Willy does a smart play there and knocks out Tapu Fini by not going into Aegislash yet, so that he was able to bypass that Fairy Charm amulet and knock out Tapu Fini. We see Butterfree. Butterfree is able to heal plus 30 when you heal on your side, and it looks like he's just going to do some chip damage on Doublade. K-Willy's got a Chansey on the bench, a Whismur, and there's Kartana. So both sides have pretty good benches. We see the Florges and the DCE Eviolite Tapu Bulu. Now Butterfree's loaded up, doing a ton. TRK's able to swing with Hyper Reverse, but we see K-Willy with the Aegislash and the Pokemon Center. So now both players can heal, which means yes, Butterfree will be healing 50 from TRK's Pokemon, including Butterfree himself. Kartana is promoted, but TRK has taken a prize, so he's not going to be able to get that buff damage. TRK takes another prize card. We see Butterfree level X, who's able to spread for 1 energy, and K-Willy does not have his Bastiodon in play, so he can't stop the spread damage. So K-Willy is keeping Kartana active, just trying to do some chip. The sad part is, as you just saw there, all that chip damage is gone. Butterfree just heals a ton on average. X-Splout is promoted. K-Willy's hoping to get some type of momentum here with damage on the board, but he just cannot find a way to deal with Butterfree. So whether he wants to Z-Crystal or go into Blissey level X, we will see what he does, but he does the Escape Rope. Butterfree level X is promoted, and yeah, it looks like TRK has done a good adaptation in this game, recognizing that when he felt cornered at first after the Doublade KO, he focused his strategy into Butterfree level X, able to swing a ton of momentum, as you see here. Now we see Chansey with a bench Skarmory, the energy switch on Florges. Looks like he does Bright Guarded for a knockout. Okay, we do see Pineco, but by then TRK only had 1 prize left, so that is game. The final round, round 5, Sax vs K-Willy. If I unmuted this match, there'd be a few insults being thrown around. Just as I was complimenting Sax's development as a player, there's still a few petty things that were said at the tables, and thankfully you'll just hear this commentary instead. I will keep it archived for the purpose of Sax and K-Willy reflecting upon themselves, but basically it was just Sax. So, as you know, K-Willy is a good down-to-earth person, and let's just get back to the match. Alright, anyway. So Greninja is played, so we see that special water energy, which actually stops effects done to Greninja, which is very good. So basically, if K-Willy tried to pull like a Doublade Pulse Swipe, it wouldn't work. See a Starmie in play. Looks like he can do Core Flash, but not to... It's actually an interesting interaction with Bastiodon. So he actually can't do it because Bastiodon would stop it. We see the Blissey in play, and the more energy Blissey has, the more damage she will do. Okay, we see a Raihan, good retaliation, grabs the defender. Greninja Break has a ton of HP, and you add defense to that, it's going to be very hard to knock him out. It looks like K-Willy definitely was banking on Blissey doing a ton of damage here. And it's honestly pretty daring for Sax to kind of just bank on Greninja. Okay, we do see the bench start Akuno for assurance. That is good. And yes, you do see a big wooden letter L. TRK did buy that at a hobby store a few days ago leading into this tournament, and that was passed around. And Sax takes it, though. He was basically able to take a pretty strong lead with Greninja Break. So that'll be it for the tournament at our Pokemon TCG Highlander August in-person monthly. Once again, thank you to the Pizza Place for hosting us, and it was a great time. We have our online monthly this Sunday, and then of course we have the 2 monthlies in September that we will be voting for, and just look forward to that in general. Again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you around. Have a good one.